Super.
Hello, we're here today with Big Chief Kevin Goodman of Flaming Arrow Entertainment Indians. He's a Mardi Gras chief, Indian chief.
Yeah.
And I guess the first question is, what are the different roles amongst the Mardi Gras Indians, and how do you manage all those roles and relate to them as a leader and a mentor?
Okay. All the roles of the Mardi Gras Indian tribe starts off with the wild man, and the wild man position is to open up the crowd, keep the street open, run up and down 2-3 blocks ahead, looking for the tribes, and also making sure that his tribe is all right also. So his position is really like doing a lot of running. He's the wild man. So he run up and down the block. He run in front of his chief. He run behind him. Each corner, looking for the tribe that's coming through. And then he has the spy boy that's behind him. That if he can't make it to the back in time or whatever, he signaled to the spy boy. And the gang have signals, and the spy boy has his shotgun or whatever that he used for his signals, that he moved from side to side, or a piece of wood that's cut out, that's made in the shape of a shotgun, and that's for him to signal to his chief that a tribe is coming, and so he, the spy boy. It's wild man, spy boy, and then the flag boy behind the spy. So the spy boy get a signal to the flag boy, and then the flag boy, he waving his flag and he giving a signal to the gang flag, which is behind him, and all these positions is protection for the chief. And then you might have a trail chief, and the trail chief will be like behind the gang flag. And the trail chief position is for when the tribes do meet, or you're meeting another tribe that's coming from a different way, that the trail chief stands behind the big chief, like in the back of his crown, to make sure that nobody from the other side or another tribe come behind the chief from the back.
Okay. So basically, you have how many characters, how many roles, and these are all. Every person has a role on the specific day of the parade, of the parading tradition.
Well, the day when we leave home on Carnival morning, when we leave home, and the big chief sing his prayer, which is Indian Red, and he called his tribe out, and they leave off one by one. But when they leave off, they're only going like to the corner. The wild man might run to the corner. He gonna open up the crowd, and then he gonna run to the corner. He might run back towards his chief again, and then when he called that spy boy, then the spy boy gonna run, and then he gonna go stand on that corner. And the wild man might still be running up and down the block, opening up the crowd. And he gonna call the flag boy, and the flag boy gonna line up behind the spy. And then he gonna call the gang flag, and the gang flag gonna line up behind the flag boy. And then the trail chief, then third chief, second chief, big queen. Sometimes you might have a second queen, you might have a third queen, and you got a big queen, and you might have, the chief might have 2 or 3 queens. You never know.
Okay.
And so.
And you're a big chief.
I'm the big chief.
That's top dog.
Yeah, and it comes with a whole lot of responsibility. The chief.
You have responsibility the day
to my tribe.
And
all year round.
Yeah,
it's year round.
This day.
It's all year round. I'm the one that's the brains behind the whole operation. Not saying that nobody else has a brain, because everybody.
But you're the leader.
I'm the leader.
You're the leader. You're the mentor.
Right.
Of all these characters.
Of all the tribes.
Positions.
Right. All these positions.
And I say characters because this is a theatrical performance that
definitely.
you work towards.
Yeah.
All year long.
Right.
I mean, it's just like, the curtain's drawn. In a theatrical sense, on the stage, you have stage left, stage right. You have crew members. I mean, so you're putting together a performance, and you're the director, and you're also in the show.
In the show, right. Well,
tell me a little bit about the preparation. What's involved in preparing the crafts and the stunning visual presentation.
Well, the preparation go year round for me. I start off drawing, and then I start off, after I draw, then I start making different patterns on how I'm going to set my suit up. And, I start off with it on a little small piece of paper. I draw my suit out first, and then after I draw it out, I start playing with individual pieces. And then they start making other shapes and other designs, and so I start getting more ideas. So the more ideas I get, the more I draw. But I draw the stuff that's contained into the costume that I'm working on. Mm-hmm. And so when I do individual costumes, I have individual patterns. And so, sometimes I draw for my flag boy. I draw something that he might like, or I draw my stuff for my queens. Somebody.
So you have control of other people's costumes, because the motifs are similar.
Yeah, I have to know what they're doing, the designs, the colors.
Okay.
What's the meaning of your suit? What's the
right.
What's the purpose of it? What's the guidelines? I have to know all that.
So the other participants, they have some freedom to come up with their themes, but they have to check in with you. So that the themes are unified? Is that?
Not necessarily have to check in with me. If you're an artist and you know what you're doing, then you don't have to check in with me. If it's your costume and your ideas.
Okay.
I don't change nobody's idea on what they want to do. I don't change their color. I don't do none of that. I let every individual design their costume, whatever type of costume that that you have in your mind, that you picture, that because that's how I design my costumes out of my head. Mm-hmm. So and that comes from sketching on a little piece of paper, getting up out my sleep and just something I had in my head while I was laying down there, and I get up and I start drawing it. And then, next thing you know, I have a whole suit that I've been drawing. So that's the way I am with my tribe members. I love for them to learn. I don't have a problem with teaching them how to make the costumes or what they need to know. The sewing part, a lot of people have the sewing part packed down, but when it come down to hooking the costumes up, doing the feathers, doing the decorations, and cutting all the pieces out and putting everything together, a very few people had that skill, and so and I'm good in those areas. I'm good with designing. I'm good with decorating. I'm good with color coordinating.
And so the participants that don't have those skills, they're able to check in with you. So when it come time for them, they can show all their patches and their designs year round. But when it come down to actually putting the costume together with the feather making and the cutting out the head piece, cutting out the chest piece, cutting out the aprons, to fit them. Mm-hmm. Your suit have to fit you like the clothes you wear. Right. So
and so a lot of that, like our aprons and chest piece and hat piece, a lot of it is made out of canvas anyway first. So, you have to cut it out to the shape of what type of design that you want to wear, or what type of hat that you want to wear, you know. And it all comes from, like I said, from the canvas, like how you do the painting on the canvas or whatever. Yeah, canvas, cardboard, whatever you can sew
on. And did you work your way up through, or you know, were you a legacy, you know,
yeah,
groomed as a chief? Or,
yeah, my dad groomed me from a kid. You know, I was born into it, and I learned how to sing at a real young age. Like probably, you know, I probably was singing when I first started talking, and wearing feathers before I was old enough to know that I had feathers on. And so, but I always was a little chief. I never ran no other position